Nothing. SGA had 31 and drew a lot of fouls. Here's Wolves coach Chris Finch on trying to defend SGA.
There was a lot of frustration out there, but we know we talked about that before the series started, and we have to be able to kind of put that aside and get on with the next play mentality.
Okay. He was a little more caustic during the regular season, but here was SGA's numbers last night. Most fouls drawn, 12 in his playoff career. Most free throw attempts, that makes sense. And free throws made, 11. So really just one stat there that we kind of drew out. 3 different lines, but that's okay.
Well, no, because fouls drawn doesn't necessarily always get you free throw attempts.
That's true.
Yeah, because he was getting them when they were in the bonus or shooting fouls. I always got your back, Josh. That's why you should give me the best stats first and then go to Wildsman. Go ahead.
You know how oftentimes Josh comes in and has to take a stat?
I know. It's what he says all the time. Whenever I'm like, hey, do we have this? He's like, yeah, Wild's going to use it, but we can just give it to you. I'm like, all right, good. You got it.
Does Minnesota need to adjust, bro?
Well, I think what they need to adjust, and look, let me say it this way. I respect that Chris Finch, and I said this earlier, that he and the players I saw the press conference with him and with Ant and Julius Randle, that they did not complain about the officiating. You saw that quote from him. He said, hey, we talked about it before the game. We got to deal with it. We got to change whatever.
Can I read you something from February that I referenced?
Yeah.
The final game that they played in February, he said, they foul. It's frustrating to play this team because they foul a ton. They foul all the time. Then you can't really touch Shea. It's very frustrating. It takes a lot of mental toughness to play through it. So maybe he was just done complaining in February?
Well, my point is, Pat Riley, Phil Jackson.
I think they used
to do this all the time in the playoffs. And you put something in the mind of the refs, and it does pay dividends at times. So I'm thinking if he had come out, and I respect that, look, we're just going to beat him. This is how it is. But you wonder, had he come out and be like, look, Shea is a great player. He's probably going to be the MVP. But this is ridiculous. I mean, look at and not only complain, but send, and maybe they will, send some tape to the NBA. Now, the one thing I will say is this. Maybe because today's different with social media, the NBA is seeing all the complaining that we see. Yeah, maybe the NBA is going to adjust just because they see all the complaining on social media. More so the referees, because you don't want people out there thinking, stuff is rigged and all that stuff. So I just think that they defended him well, really. I mean, he got to the foul line. Yeah, he was 10 for 27. Nick said 2 for 13 in the first half. So they defended him well. He just got a bunch of foul calls.
So, and I want to make something clear on kind of how I feel about this, because I think some people are like, Nick, don't you love Luka, who is the biggest, complainer in the league? And you guys can say if I'm doing a double standard, if I'm being unfair. I think Luka, the way he berates the refs, the way he complains every time when he gets a foul call, he seems to be mad, and when he doesn't get a foul call, he's just as mad. That is, I totally get why that irritates people and they find it unlikable, whatever it is. I don't see Luka as a guy who, though, goes into the lane like, my whole goal of this drive is to make them think I got fouled and then fall over.
He wants to score.
He's trying to score and score through contact. And those guys, and often those guys almost get penalized in that if you can deal with some contact and it doesn't make you fall off balance, the refs don't call it. And then if you were a little weaker, then you do get the call. So I'm not trying to have a double standard. I just view it differently because it feels like you are Shea is at times driving, and the goal of the drive is free throws, not a bucket.
Correct.
Now, yesterday, a couple times on what I thought were 2 of the more questionable foul calls, he ended up making the shot anyway. You know what I mean? Like while he was falling down. I think it would have been interesting if Chris Finch just took the $50,000 fine and went scorched earth. You know what I mean? And I thought it was on the board that he would. I greatly prefer that from a coach than a player.
Yep.
You know what and I almost think that's kind of the job of the coach. And coach of the Pistons, J.B. Bickerstaff.
Yeah.
If you remember near the end of the regular season, when he's like, basically, we're a real team too, damn it, and like it's not fair and it's outrageous, and I don't know who they were playing that generated that explosion. But the other piece of this, I think, is to do what Oklahoma City does, which is we are from the very first tip going to play so physically that are you going to call 50 fouls? And we're going to start our physical defense 35 feet from the basket.
That's what you have to do.
Where, you know what I mean? Because somebody made the point last night, they were like, how long would it take Alex Caruso to foul out if he were guarding Shea? If you took Caruso's defense with Shea, you know what I mean, Shea's whistle. And so, but it's not dissimilar, and this is where I give the Thunder credit, to like the Legion of Boom philosophy with the Seahawks in the secondary, which was, we are going to illegally disrupt your receivers every play.
Right.
And if you call it twice, we got away with 20, we'll take it. And so I'm not criticizing at all the Thunder's defense. I wonder if my worry would be Minnesota's reaction to game one is, we got to back off. And I think they have to go the other way and see how the refs decide to officiate it.
Okay, I thought that was good. Coming up next, we're talking about flag football. Mahomes going for the goal.
Not shockingly, the Bickerstaff rant was after playing the Thunder.
It was a great rant.
It was a great rant.
Can we stay just a little bit longer?
Don't worry, we'll be back.